There were nights that the wind was so cold.
Cold, motherfucker.
Stop. No.
Boom. What?
Do not disrespect Celine Dion like
What?
that.
I thought we were doing this.
No, we were not doing not that.
I thought we were breaking it down the funky fresh.
There's first off, that works for something. Celine Dion is a Canadian angel, and she needs no work done. She's perfect.
I don't buy it.
Well, you don't need to buy it. She's doing just fine without you.
But see, point being though is say you were like taking Celine Dion from behind, and then she starts queefing. Would it sound like a boombox?
She's Canadian, so she's just like, sorry.
Or do you think it would be like to the tune of "Oh Canada"?
That's really gross.
Welcome to the smoke pit.
Hey.
So if you thought you weren't going to hear about Canadian superstar Celine Dion queefing,
you're at the wrong show, motherfucker.
You were sorely mistaken. So today is 3/16.
It is National Stone Cold Steve Austin Day.
So question.
Yes.
Who do you think would win in an actual street fight?
Okay.
Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock?
Well, good question. Well, I would say The Rock obviously has the size and strength, especially nowadays. But I think Stone Cold is that true-to-life redneck who will literally stomp a mud hole in his ass. And
yeah.
He has that in him.
I could see that, but there was that meme that came out where he's like, you and you're drinking your 20s, and it's him like, pouring 2 beers into his mouth at once, and then like drinking your 30s, and he's like in like a pink collared shirt with like a glass of wine in a vineyard.
Well, excuse Stone Cold for growing up and being responsible.
But do you think he still has that redneck in him, or do you think
I don't think it ever leaves. I don't think it ever leaves. Me being from the bumfuck state of Indiana, it's still in me. Like my sideburns growing horribly. White trash is in me. I don't think it ever leaves.
Now, so how far was the nearest corner store to you in Indiana where you lived in the trailer park?
Which trailer park? No, honestly, my graduating high school class, it was a farm school, so we had like 123 in our graduating class, and there was one little gas station / corner store in the whole little town where I graduated, and that was it.
Does that explain why you grew accustomed to not using condoms?
Well, I was also raised Catholic, so
which one really had the bearing, though?
Either way, no condoms will be used, and that's for God.
Oh my God! I was trying to give you an out there. You're like, oh my unfortunate upbringing. Like,
oh no. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm drinking Colt 45, Dan. I don't want to lie to the people.
He is like halfway through a 40 of Colt 45.
Actually, when I bought this on the way over here, I bought this in like a Smart Water kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that and a giant share pack of Skittles, which I finished on the way here. And the lady was just like, what's with people buying things that don't go together? I'm like, see, you're what's wrong with this country.
Yeah.
All 3 of these things absolutely go together.
Like, just live your life,
Right.
Like, as long as you're not hurting anybody or whatever, do what makes you happy.
I agree 1,000%.
Or don't do what makes you happy, like me, and just be depressed all the time.
But make other people happy. Yeah.
Yep, I'm on my Robin Williams right now. You guys get another 20 years of entertainment before...
Give us Aladdin before you kill yourself, please.
I feel like my Florida veteran meme was my Aladdin, though.
That was your Patch Adams at best.
Yeah, because
you have a lot more in you.
The meme that I made about the grandpa going to the range every week in case Germany wants round 3.
Yeah.
That got like fucking 9 million views just on the Facebook. Really well.
It was actually funny because we were at dinner when you made that meme. You're like, hey, proofread this. Look at this. And we're like, that's kind of funny. And then you submitted it, and then you were just like, holy shit.
Yeah, fucking like over 100,000 shares just on the Facebook page.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Wild.
Yeah, it was a good meme.
Yeah. So if you're one of the judges for the Street Share grant coming up that we applied for, disregard the cream pie and focus on the social impact.
Don't disregard it.
Disregard. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like you think that you reach your best in life, and then you have the ability to surprise yourself and do something that's bigger than what you expected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Granted, since my name and face wasn't on this meme, I didn't get any call from any network, to like I did with the last one.
Right. Well, at least, I mean, you watermarked this one.
Yeah, but then it got cropped out.
Well, yeah. Well, it's funny because I've seen so many of your memes that you've made, and other people just like cropped out the watermark. It's crazy.
Yeah. We're having one of the next Burbis events in Vegas at SHOT Show.
Yeah.
And I know one motherfucker with a very large page in particular that's always cropping out my fucking watermarks. And yeah, he's going to catch these hands.
God damn.
Like, I'm going to save bail money. Or should we do a crowdfunding for my bail money?
I mean, I'll cover your bail.
Is that unethical to crowdfund in advance, or do words like premeditated get thrown around?
So I want to know if you want to say his or her name right now, just for like a pro wrestling kind of like promo. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. I want to lure him or her into a false sense of complacency.
Okay.
Then McNinja.
Throat chop. It's universal.
Give him that Marine Corps knife chop.
That's right.
Right in the fucking neck.
That's a tan belt technique. That's the basics.
Yeah, so we're excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You
Sure.
know what I was really excited for that never happened?
What's that?
The Dan Blazarian, Dakota Meyer beef that was like super hot for like 2 days and then just like fizzled out.
To be fair, when Dakota Meyer does his rounds, like talks to the operational Marine forces and stuff, he still gets that question, like, "Are you going to fuck up, Bulzarian?" He's like, "Oh, whenever I see him, it's happening." So he's still on it.
Oh, so it's like that Tom and Jerry beef, like on site. They just haven't crossed
Oh,
paths
for
yet.
sure. Yeah, it's the Peter Griffin and the chicken.
Yeah. Like Dan is just gallivanting around with supermodels.
Right. Yeah.
Not trying to get in an altercation with.
Yeah, a Medal of Honor recipient.
Not only that, but like somebody who beat someone to death with like a rock.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was
what I
part
mean?
of it.
Yeah, like I don't know who I would back in that.
I'm gonna say Dakota because he was 3rd Marine Division. So
Yeah,
and
but,
I'm loyal to mine.
Yeah, but at the same time, I also feel like I would want to party with Dan.
Sure, absolutely.
And that might be kind of shallow, but at least I'm upfront about it.
No, I agree with both. I would take Dakota in a fight, and I would take Dan out drinking,
or let him take me.
or me. Yeah, exactly.
Out drinking.
That's fair.
Yeah, big props to both of you. If you guys are listening, which I mean, we just hit like 70,000 downloads, so it's not unreasonable.
It's not unreasonable. Yeah.
Somebody should be like, "Hey, bro, check this out," and like send it to him.
Actually, you know what? Let's make this a clip as well.
Yeah, because it's just like it's so easy to like take pop shots at somebody, but then when you really look at like the work somebody had to do to get there. Because you have, other people who were, awarded military honors, and they just live a quiet life.
Mm-hmm.
But as we're like, Dakota, he's built his nonprofit. He's doing all these speaking events. And Dan, he went from being in the Navy, which you can't take that away from him. I mean, I never made it through BUD/S, so like.
Neither did he.
Yeah. Ouch. But, so like you can't take that away from him. And then he went out and built an empire.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now he's like literally living the dream.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Not like figuratively, literally. He's got his own weed company.
Yeah.
His entourage. Like, generally, like whenever we go somewhere, we'll have like maybe like 2 or 3 hot girls show up,
Right.
But this dude's like rolling deep with like 10 everywhere.
Yeah. And that's just the ones that won't go away.
So kind of jealous about that.
No, I mean, for sure. I mean, he is living the American dream. And I don't have a beef with him. I've never met him.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anything,
I'd like to, though.
I absolutely would.
You know what I mean?
All the hate I feel he gets is just from jealousy.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, make a bunch of burner accounts, go on there and...
Right.
Kidding. Please don't have me assassinated with all your crazy money.
Right. Is it that much money though?
Yes, it really is.
Okay, I don't know. I've never seen his deposit slips.
I have.
Oh, damn.
It's luxurious.
Oh, wow.
Much like his beard.
He has a nice beard. I'll give him that. For sure.
Which I cannot confirm nor deny, but there is a possibility that he might use combat comb over.
I would like to think somebody in his stature would.
Yeah. And so if you're not using combat comb over, you really should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Set people up that thought I was going to use it.
Yeah.
Use the catchphrase. No, that's coming later. Gotta keep you on your toes.
That's right. He jerked off earlier, so it's coming later.
No. But like I took a dope picture with the pomade in, and I will say it will take you from a 5 to a hard 7.5.
Yeah, you're an easy 8 right now with these lights on you. So,
yeah, you got the eyes shining.
Absolutely, those wolf eyes, man.
Yeah,
one of these days I'm gonna fuck you. I'm gonna break down.
Oh man, until we invent time travel, and I'm like, man, my ass is kind of sore. Did I already get fucked?
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you could get into a time machine, and go forward or back in time at any point in time, and have consensual, being the key word, sex with somebody, who would it be?
Well, I mean, I feel like everybody would answer past because they know who was hot back in the day. I don't think people want to go in the future and be like, oh, my neighbor's pretty hot, but she's a little old. I'll wait for her to have a baby. You know what I mean? Yeah,
but then like I'm sure like EP Mike would be like, I would wait till your daughter turned 18 and then fuck her.
Oh, right. Well, EP Mike's super creepy. But
in a loving way.
In the best way. Yeah. I
like,
love this guy.
He would definitely be a loyal boyfriend.
Well, I mean, yeah.
If any women out there are lonely, please hit him up.
Absolutely, please do. Yeah.
Instead, Bro America
on Instagram.
Yep. The world's shittiest producer, the world's best lover.
That's right.
With his massive dong.
He'll put you to sleep.
He's pressing buttons over there.
I know.
Look,
I don't think he's. I think he's fucking up this recording.
Yes.
Plugging you, bro. This is good. I would to answer your question, I'll go in the past for sure.
Yeah.
And who would it be? I would say so. No matter who I pick, they're gonna have sex, right? It's not. I have to go back.
Hypothetically,
Sure.
eventually, like.
I don't have to go in the past and like woo them or you know what I mean. Anything
Yeah, I mean
like
that would be a part of it. You can't just like show up and fuck them.
Well, what's the point in this hypothetical scenario?
So
If
that
it's
way
not
we're not
super
rapers.
easy. Well, it's not gonna be rape either way. First off, this is super hypothetical.
Yeah, exactly. So hypothetically, you can't take them on a date. Like I know
No.
you just DoorDash girls to your house.
Oh my god.
I don't know the last time you actually bought flowers for a girl, but hypothetically,
Fucking prom.
pretend you looked like me and you had to put effort.
Oh my god. All right. Okay. So I have to woo these people.
Hypothetically, in a
Hypothetically.
short period of time.
Sure.
They're easy in this circumstance, but not like as easy as you're used to.
Oh my god. Let me think.
So why he's thinking of a very shallow answer, I will say that if your answer is not, going back to a person that you truly loved,
Oh
and
god.
catching them before you either made mistakes or before you were damaged, or before the world
Sure.
tore you guys apart. Correct yourself.
There it is.
There it is.
He just came. No, I'm not gonna say any dumb shit like that, but I will say, I had this conversation with somebody the other day. I don't know why it just came up, but I had the biggest crush, like my celebrity crush, was Cameron Diaz in the Mask movie. You remember when she first walked in?
Oh my gosh!
Bro.
Yeah, in the red dress.
Yes. There was something about that scene as a young adolescent male where I was like, boner achieved.
That's like up there. I would dare to say that barely caps over the Pink Power Ranger.
Yeah. Okay, all right, fair enough. So I would go back in time and Cameron Diaz in her prime just from that scene alone.
I would probably have to say maybe like if she's as hot as like the bust make her out to be, Cleopatra.
Oh, okay.
Because you think like she got down, like she was boning Caesar and Mark Anthony.
Well, she was living her best life.
Yeah, like these guys could have had anybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's who they're fighting over. And if she looks as like hot as like these like paintings and busts make
They
her out
never
to
look
be,
as good as their pictures.
especially a fucking 2,000-year-old bust that you
There was
found in
no
a cave.
filters back then. Yeah.
None whatsoever. You see that clip on the news where like, oh, this is what Cleopatra looked like, and it looked like some Kate Middleton whitewash girl, and then all like the black people were being saucy, like,
No, I didn't see that. No,
doubt it.
I could see
It
it.
was
Doing
so
that.
fucking funny.
That's ridiculous. Jesus Christ. He was also not white.
Yeah, she was Egyptian of sort.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we have for today's episode, which I believe is episode 21?
EP, do you know? Yeah. Okay.
Episode 21.
The
for
big
those
2-1.
For those of you who have just been listening to us talk about auto-tune queefs and banging celebrities and stuff, my name's Dan Sharp, Marine Corps infantry veteran, Iraq, Afghanistan. My co-host Mike Sensi, Navy, Afghan, and myriad of other places veteran. Our executive producer, who is known as EP Mike to avoid confusion, combat engineer, and an Afghan veteran.
Big facts, all of it.
Also has a massive dong.
Also big facts.
And to catch you up to speed, EP Mike has a big dong. Co-host Mike's like to cream pie girls relentlessly. And I am uber suicidal and apparently very charming.
And this is the show.
Yeah, we did a fuck, marry, kill the other day. And
could we do those results? Some of them, not all of them.
Yeah.
Some of them were savage as fuck.
Yeah, like I think like the most savage one was kill co-host Mike because the other two are suicidal enough as it is.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh my
There was a
gosh,
bunch. I wish I could find them.
that would fucking hurt me.
There was a bunch.
I think I took some screenshots.
I remember one you sent me that was like, it was like kill.
Did you see those?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god.
There was one that was like.
I watch those every day.
I know you do. I thought you deleted them, but whatever. It's fine. There was one that said like, marry EP Mike, fuck Dan, and kill tattoos. Like, bitch, I have a name. Or goddamn name.
No, and it was sad because we were getting like some really good traction, but then fucking Instagram decided to take a shit.
Yeah, that was that day. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we missed out on like half of our on like half of our results, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like one of them was just like kill the dude who had the Korean 5-way because he's already lived enough.
Right.
Fuck co-host Mike and marry Dan because he's suicidal and a sweetheart.
There was a lot of Mary Dans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the way it goes.
Yeah.
Like we all know that if EP Mike is allowed to continue to exist, he's gonna take over the world in some diabolical scheme.
It's true. He is Hitler 2.0.
Yeah, like we have to. Oh my God.
You think he's insulted by that?
Yeah, we have to nerf him before it's too late.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so, but I would probably say like primarily it was mostly Marry Me.
It was, yeah.
And then
see, that's the best though, because if you get selected for the marry, you get the fuck, and then eventually they're gonna kill you anyway.
I know you've never been married, but there's not a lot of sex in marriage.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's why I'll never get married.
That's why.
That and a myriad of other things.
Yeah, just like sometimes you don't have the ability to project in the microphone. Yeah,
listen,
got him.
You
don't have the ability to project your emotions.
All right, I'm gonna cut you off right there. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce, anyway. I'm gonna address this to everybody that listens. First off, thank you for listening. I love you all so much. Second off, I've been drinking, so I have a little more, a little more charisma, a little more courage to address all you right now. The reason it sounds like I'm far away from the mic when we have guests is because I fucking am, and I don't project, and I mumble a lot from the Midwest. What we do, not a very good school system.
And not using condoms.
Exactly. Yeah, it's what we do. We just get through life.
You got to keep the area populated. It's so sparse.
That's right.
You know?
Like, somebody's got to work on the farm.
Yeah.
And so I see your DMs, I see your complaints, and you can all go fuck yourselves. That's pretty much. Can you hear me now? That's pretty much all I have to say.
Talk about that guy, fucking Benedict Arnold.
Yeah. Okay.
Verizon made him rich, and then he was obscure for like 10 years, and then he came back with a vengeance and was like,
Sprint. Yeah.
Fuck Verizon.
Sprint right to the bank.
Now, would you do that?
Do what?
Turn Benedict Arnold.
Oh.
Like if, like, say for example, right now, Drinking Bros was like, "Hey, we want you to come be another anchor on the show." Because big shout out to them. They had us. They had us on the show a couple weeks ago. Go check out that episode. What was the name of that episode? From
Infantry to Insta Famous.
Which I'm baffled by that.
What a great title, though.
Because I don't consider myself Insta famous. Though.
I mean, like, 250,000 followers.
I mean, that's just on Instagram.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yo, see? Yeah.
Because last night we went and saw Craig Robinson.
Loved it.
He was Daryl from The Office, the warehouse manager. He was in Hot Tub Time Machine. Doug Judy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Pontiac Bandit.
The Pontiac Bandit. He's been in a bunch of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
He was Horstick.mpeg, you know,
right.
End of the World. What was that? Pineapple Express. He was one of the hitmen.
He was. I seen it.
I seen it.
He made that meme happen.
Yeah, and so like I went to go check out his Instagram to see if he like, you know, shouted out Virginia Beach or anything, and I saw I have like twice as many Instagram followers as him.
Yeah, I mean, does he have an Instagram? I don't know. Does he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, he didn't have one until Prince died, and then it was really kind of eerie because like 2 or 3 days before Prince died, he posted like a behind the scenes video of him at a Prince concert.
Yeah.
And then Prince died, and we're like, what? Illuminati confirmed. Like his one and only post. Yeah, it was crazy. And so and not that it means a hill of beans or anything, you know what I mean? But yeah, because it's not like
I love that phrase, hill of beans. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry, I just love that.
If you had a hill of beans, you'd be quite proud of yourself, my friend.
A whole fucking hill.
A whole hill. Yeah, so it's not that, you know, not that it means anything, but like it's crazy to think that like like there'll be times where people will just hear my voice and recognize me.
Yeah. Well, didn't you call somebody on the phone and they were like, "Oh, I know who this is," kind of thing?
I don't want to go into too much detail.
That's why I was keeping it vague. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I let's say I ordered a pizza.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's say that was definitely not my drug dealer, and they're like, "Wait a second, aren't you on that podcast?"
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
And you're like, correct yourself, and just hung up.
I'm like, wait, no. Let me still get that pot, though. Like,
let me get an ounce, dog.
Yeah, because he was listening to it thinking that it was informative marijuana podcast, the Smoke Pit.
You know what's so funny? If you like do the hashtag the Smoke Pit, you'll see a little bit of us because the Instagram's not that big yet. But then you'll see a lot of like barbecue pits and shit.
Yeah.
So we should get on with like some
grill
show
your ass off.
Yeah, really. Oh, for sure. I mean, I love those guys, but just like some show that does nothing but barbecue.
Yeah. And then man, weed's illegal in DC, so when we're up there for burpas.
I got 5 on it.
All right, so you're active duty, so I know this is kind of a taboo subject for you.
What you got?
But would you fuck an old lady?
The fact that I'm active duty just furthers the fact that yes, I would. And how old? Notice I asked how old after I said yes.
Okay, like old enough to have silver pubes.
You got to give me an age.
45.
Yes.
35.
Yes.
Old lady at 35.
If I said yes to 45, I'm going to say yes to 35.
35, that's too young. What am I, a pervert?
Haven't we? We've talked about our oldest, haven't we?
I don't think so.
I feel like we have.
Yeah, like, yeah. For me, it was like 29. For you, it was like 67.
It was not 67.
It was 67.
No, it wasn't. I'll tell you my oldest.
Well, how old was it? 67.
Drunk Mike is
I was trying to like
way too
impersonate
open.
his voice.
Yeah.
But I can't be that big of a douchebag.
Yeah,
so.
it's true. It is a douchey voice. My oldest was 51.
51. How old were you?
25. I was still in Hawaii.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So she was literally twice your age.
Yeah, and she looked the same age as me. She looked like she was in her 20s.
Really?
Yeah.
How was it? Out of 5 stars.
I'm gonna say 4, only because 5 is insane. I would never give that.
Okay, out of 10.
I'm gonna say 7.
Okay.
So pretty much the whole night was just like,
because I don't know if you know math from Marines, but 5 times 2 is 10. So
Right.
Argo 4 times 2 would be 8, but you went with a 7.
right, and I'm gonna explain why as soon as you shut up. No, so I was out at this is a shout out to all the K-Bay guys and girls. I was out at Moose's in Hawaii in Waikiki, and
It just sounds like a cougar bar.
it is. It's exactly what it is.
Moose knuckle.
The old moose knuckle. And I was out with my buddies and getting swifty as we are one to do. And yeah,
we got to pay them royalties.
no, we
when
don't.
say
Fuck
that.
no, we don't.
Yeah.
They're way too cool for that.
That's why they're waiting so long for season 4.
Guess what? If they slide my DMs and say give me royalties, I will give them whatever the fuck they want. That is like the most perfect show ever made. Yeah. So I was just out drinking with the boys as usual, and this woman came up to me. I thought she was like in her early 30s. Like she looked really good.
Yeah.
And for age wise, and she was just talking.
All
to me
right,
and
hold on.
inviting me
Let's back it up a little bit. I want more substance to this story.
Sure.
Ethnicity.
She was from the island.
Okay,
She's
so
Hawaiian.
I don't know what the equivalent of black don't crack is. Asian don't be Asian. Asian, is that it?
say that one more time.
Asian don't be Asian.
There it is. Okay. That's really funny.
Was that what it was though?
No, I'm trying to think. What rhymes with
Because like we were at the show last night and they're like, "We got any Asian people in here?" And the one dude like raises his hand and he's like, "Where are you from?" He's like, "Pacific Islands."
Yeah,
and the guy
yeah.
was like, "What?
Yeah.
Pacific Islands? Guam?"
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, "You Chinese."
Well, I think that was just a shitty joke, but yeah, Hawaiian. I don't know. Don't be
So
crying. Hawaiian never dying. I don't fucking know.
So she was Pacific Islander.
She was.
And she was beautiful.
She was. No, she was really good looking.
Not just for her age, but just in
Yeah.
general.
Oh, as a human being, inside and out.
Did she have voluptuous breasts?
No, she was really fit. A lot of people in Hawaii are fit. Because
Really?
Yeah, they hike and they just run around. I mean, you see like the big Samoan, like the big dudes and stuff.
Because I know people who are from that region and they say like, "Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like the reason I'm fat is because Spam is delicious."
Spam is delicious. But yeah, no. So she just saw like me and my Marines and getting swifty, and she bought us a couple shots and stuff. And then she was just the one who talked to me all night.
Yeah.
That kind of setup. And then the boys were heading back to base and like, "RP, you come with?" And I was like, "No, I think I got a good thing going." They're like, "Okay, gross, bye." And so no, I went home with her. She had like a nice house near Waikiki, and it was cool. It's a good experience.
Okay, so that is phase 1.
Oh God.
Phase 2.
Sure.
Was she groomed downstairs?
I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna sound like a cop out. I was very, very drunk, and I don't remember a lot of it. It's not like if you put me in her house now, I would be like, I could kind of be like, I've been here before, maybe, but I was very, very drunk.
So she had a huge bush.
I mean, she, honest to God, she could have.
Yeah.
There's
There's
even a chance we didn't hook up at all. I just woke up in her bed.
So how would you rate her a 7?
Just because you're super nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, super nice. We want to take a
Lesson
drunk
to all you ladies out
Yeah,
there.
that's honestly. I mean, debate me on this. You know what I mean?
Okay, let's play devil's advocate.
What do you got?
I will argue against whatever you're going to say next.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say being super nice is a leg up.
Or putting your leg up is a leg up.
That's super nice of them.
You got me, you son of a bitch.
Right, yeah. Debate team captain. I'm a master debater. No, No, I just it was a night spent with an old Hawaiian lady, and it was cool.
Did she make you breakfast the next day?
She did not. She got me a cab back to base though.
Oh,
yeah,
that is nice.
Yeah.
Did you get yourself breakfast?
I did. Yeah.
What'd you get?
Fuck, what's that place called?
Dunkin' Donuts.
No, bitch.
Damn. Get with the hostility.
I know. I've been drinking. Fuck. It was what's that place on K-Bay? Right next to the PX. It does like the breakfast burritos and coffee. I got one from there. I can't think of the name of it. It's so fucking good. I got
All right. So while he's looking that up.
Yeah. Everybody in K-Bay right now is screaming. I'm so sorry, guys.
Hey, it's been a while since he's been there.
Yeah.
And admittedly, he lost a lot of brain cells to drinking.
I don't even know where I am right now. Yeah.
In our studio,
right,
recording The Smoke Pit. Now. The Dragon Ball Z guitar riff. So, speaking of which, if you could be in any cartoon, whether it be American made or anime, what would it be?
If I could be in oof.
And I will, so far to give you that you don't have to just be like a placid person. You can actually be like a main character with powers and stuff.
What a question. I'm
thinking I'd be the Avatar.
So, okay, that's a solid one. So you'd be the lead in Avatar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be like, I'd like to think that I'd probably be like a water tribe because like I'm pretty chill. I go with the flow, you know. Yeah, so I think I'd be like a waterbender, but obviously I'd have all the other powers because, you know, and not the fucking the Dances with Wolves in Space bullshit Avatar movie, like the good Avatar from Nickelodeon. If you haven't seen it, correct yourself.
Not the M Night Shyamalan.
That motherfucker, because they just released the Avatar on Blu-ray, and like part of the behind the scene things is like the creator's Avatar talking about like how like M Night Shyamalan, whoa Black Betty, bam, bam, whoa Black Betty,
Shyamalan,
how he was gonna do an awesome job, and he just totally boogered it.
Yeah, I mean, well,
like much like EP Mike on several episodes,
many episodes.
Yeah. However, also like EP Mike, the creators did a really good job with the sequel, Legend of Korra.
Oh, okay, fair
enough. Wasn't as good as the original. Which, because when you have a masterpiece, it's hard to like.
It never is.
Yeah.
There's a couple sequels out there.
Terminator 2.
I was gonna say Terminator 2.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna say Deadpool 2 as well. I like the second one better than the first.
Oh really?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so I would definitely probably say I'd probably be the Avatar because like not a lot of people die in that.
Yeah.
Because like people are like, oh yeah, like Attack on Titan. I'm like, bitch, like fucking 9 out of 10 people die in Attack on Titan. That's a horrible fucking Star Wars mass genocide. Planets are just fucking blowing up. Younglings are getting killed left and right. Like
there was a firefight. So cartoon. So two popped in my head just right off the bat. I would say I just want to be in the back of Ed, Edd and Eddy or Dexter's Lab. Just a character that shows up like, hey, I'm Mike, and then Ed and Eddy does their whatever they're doing to get jawbreakers.
Like tag along.
Yeah, I just kind of tag along, or that, or be a mainstay in the original Amazing Spider-Man cartoon from the '90s.
Oh wow, that's a really good one.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
The opening song to that is so epic.
It's so fucking metal.
Yeah,
it really is.
And like it's crazy because like Peter Parker like goes through all these fucking like troubles and like deals with kids dying with cancer, and, like literally turning into a giant mutant fucking spider.
So you want to hear something super? Just because I'm drunk, I'm gonna admit this.
Right before you go on though, I was gonna say that I honestly was gonna guess that you would have been in the Ghostbusters cartoon.
A solid one. Well, so they had the original one with like what was based off the movies, and they had like Ghostbusters Extreme or X or whatever, where it's like the kid in the wheelchair. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
No, just like Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. No, fuck Teen Titans Go. Yeah. Teen Titans the original is fucking. That's where it's at.
They can suck all the dicks, but yeah, Ghostbusters for sure.
Either that or like the original Ninja Turtles.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. See,
like
okay,
you'd be like Casey Jones.
Yeah, I would be. Oh my god, I'd love to be Casey Jones. I hate hockey though.
Aren't you from South Canada?
What the fuck? Aren't we all from South Canada?
I'm from Florida. I'm from North Cuba.
So you're super South Canada.
we have two places of mass ice, and that's the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers arena where they play. There's no ice. You want fucking a cold beverage? Fuck you.
Well, I mean, Indiana's cold as fuck. We don't have a hockey team though. So.
Really?
No, we don't. I mean, we have like a D League team.
Well, I mean, you barely have an education system, so that's not surprising.
But we have.
Whoa!
Boom, rusted.
But yeah, Casey Jones. Oh, he was wasn't he a roller skater though? Did he play like field hockey?
No. His whole backstory was he was like a failed like NHL player.
Oh, why'd he fail?
I don't know, because he's
drugs.
Because he's a fucking nerd. He was like Ben Affleck in The Town. Like, I couldn't skate backwards. Fucking nerd.
Like he's just so fucking tripped out on psychedelics. They cut him from the team, and he thinks he's fighting with giant turtles. Like it's a weird Sixth Sense. M. Night
Shyamalan strikes again. God damn it.
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones. High on shrooms.
Mike Sensi. A lot of parallels there.
Hollywood. Hear me out.
All right. So what was the other one you were gonna say though? Or was that all you had?
I had my gay, dumb confession. I'm going to say gay. It's upsetting. So when I was a kid, I've only told this to like 3 people, so now I'm going to tell it to the world.
Father O'Malley, Father O'Patrick, Father O'Shanahan.
First off, how did you know their names?
I figured I just said some 3 random Irish names.
There was a contest for the original Amazing Spider-Man cartoon when it was on Fox Kids Network or whatever. And
that it was just Fox, but like between 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. And
like Adult Swim is still Cartoon Network. People don't realize that.
And they had a contest. It was a write-in contest, and this is the first time I ever had a TV in my room. So this is like my religion, was watching whatever was on TV, especially the cartoons I loved. And, they had a contest that said, you know, this is back when Spider-Man would shoot his webbing straight into the air, not even catch anything, just into the air. You remember that? It was just like it attached to nothing. He'd be swinging around.
Well, I mean, if you're on like floor level in Manhattan, like,
but you know,
eventually it's gonna hit something.
But you know what I'm talking about. And
like a woman like hanging out the balcony with her tits, you know, like
attached to her tits.
No, either that or she like gets free Brazilians, like the web hits her pubes, and like as he's swinging, he rips her off. She's like, "Thanks, Spider-Man."
I feel like that's a company right now. Peter Parker Brazilian wax. Write that down, EP. And so there was a writing contest that said, when Spider-Man shoots his webbing into the air, what do you think it grabs onto? Because this is literally when in the cartoons he shoot into the clouds. And so, again, being a good Catholic boy from Indiana, I wrote into this with my shitty handwriting that has remained the same. I said, because he's a good guy, this is going to make you throw up. This is so stupid. Because he's a good guy, he's shooting his webbing into the air, and the angels are catching it.
That's the most beautiful thing you've ever said.
And they actually wrote me back and said, thank you for your contribution, like for writing in, and then nothing. And I didn't win that contest. Some other kid did.
What was his answer?
I honestly don't remember. It was not the Angels, so I was super upset.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I remember that was my first thing, like writing out of Indiana to like a show or like a program I loved.
I would have been like, he modified it so that way it turned into like an umbrella or like a hot air balloon or something. Exactly. So it was like self-sustaining, so he could just like swing on these fucking like
some of these. Yeah. So no, I wrote in that show as a young Catholic boy and said the angels are helping out Spider-Man.
Man, so like I'd probably say somewhere in the neighborhood of the 87 girls that you've cream pied.
God, what the fuck?
All of them can blame it on Fox Kids.
If anything, you know what? I'll accept this segue. Fox is to blame for all my debauchery.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that a fucking generation raised on South Park and Futurama and Family Guy gets so easily offended.
Yeah, I agree. But I think the offense is fake a lot of times. I think a lot of people say they're offended just so they have a voice, and that's the voice that, you know, pierces through the most is the offended ones, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people aren't as offended as they make themselves out to be. They just want to be heard.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So EP, how are we doing on time?
We're at 33 minutes.
33 minutes.
So I was on that. I'm going to segue for you.
A lot of good content so far.
A lot of good content. We're crushing it. Should have heard what we had before EP deleted. I'm just kidding. So I was on a date the other day, right? And it didn't go well, for the record. And so she Googled like questions asked. It was the kind of date where she had to Google what kind of questions asked on a date while we were on the date. And yeah, terrible date.
Was she hot?
No.
Then why are you on a date with her?
Because I'm lonely as all fuck.
But there's so many pretty girls out there that would like literally love to lock you down.
You say that. Anyway, so I thought it'd be funny to ask you like dating questions.
Okay.
And I actually had a list saved, and now that I'm looking through my fucking history, it is not saved anymore.
Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba.
I'll just do this one from this random website. So they're all dirty, by the way, just so you know. These are stupid. So, Daniel Sharp, what do you do when you get horny in public?
Mainly think about the failures I've had in life, and that really mellows me out.
And you're eventually allowed to achieve orgasm.
And then I'm just disgusted with myself.
Yeah, exactly. Fair enough.
All right, what else you got?
Who gave you your first orgasm besides yourself?
Ooh.
You don't have to say name, just like an experience.
I really don't want to talk about that because one of my buddies ended up having a kid with her.
Oh my dear God.
And I know my friends back home listen to the show, so I will plead the fifth.
Fair enough. Okay. I feel like you just divulged too much, but okay.
Yeah, I wanted to say enough.
Sure. What's your favorite thing about a quickie?
Basically the primal urge that goes into it, like she's doing her makeup in the mirror, you come up behind her, slide her panties down, take her right then and there, and then just like the look on her face afterwards, like, oh my God, did that just happen?
Right.
And like, well, clearly that running down your leg suggests that it did. And you execute the plan of the day.
I like it's right. Carry on.
Yeah.
Guys, a whole list of these things. Look at all these.
Are they all sex related?
They're all sex related.
Okay, so
yeah. You can hit me with a couple, yeah.
All right, what is your go-to masturbation fantasy?
Fantasy?
And if you're weirded out by this, you're probably low-key gay. So just listen. You might learn something about yourself.
Which is what the show does.
Yeah.
Masturbation fantasy. Well, I mean, anytime I masturbate, I'm usually looking at porn of some kind.
Okay, so are you imagining yourself as the guy?
Of course, 100% of the time.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I can't watch BBC.
So is this what we were talking about, buying a condo earlier so you could live out your real estate porn fantasy?
That is exactly the reason.
Did we just figure something out?
Everything comes full circle.
All right. Let's see here. What would you do if a couple approached you to be their third?
So, spoiler, this has happened 3 times since I've lived in Virginia. And I've entertained the idea through text just because I think it's funny. But when it came down to brass tacks, I'd never met him or did anything with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were intrigued, but
I was intrigued by the idea, and I was flattered by the offer.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think I'd do that.
All right. What's the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you while hooking up? Because I'd also like to define hooking up, because where I come from, if like, oh, I hooked up with that girl, that means like you made out with her, or like there was hands involved,
Sure. She caught
like,
all the hands.
Maybe a blowjob.
Sure.
But like to me, if somebody's like, oh, I hooked up with that girl, that doesn't necessarily mean that they fucked them.
Yeah.
Does that mean that to you?
I'd say yeah. Hook up means fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't for me.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So what was the question?
Most embarrassing thing to happen to you while you're hooking up?
So much. So, okay. I'm not going to cite one thing. You'll see where I'm going with this. There's been times where I'm hooking up and I have to fart really bad.
Yeah.
You ever had that? It's the worst feeling in the world. Like your stomach hurts, your back hurts for some reason. Like, everything's off. Holding in a fart during sex is the worst feeling. You know what's worse than that? And this happened to me one time. Holding in a nosebleed. I don't know, for whatever reason.
Explain yourself.
It's not so much an explanation as confusion.
A little bit too much cocaine and hookers.
No, it's just...
BlackComBackHomeover.com.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I got fucking bitch-made nostrils, and it was dry air or whatever it was. But in the middle
the adrenaline hit, and you could smell everything, and her vag was so stank that you started bleeding from the nose.
Somebody just shot at me. I don't know what it was. I felt a nosebleed coming, and... we were in the middle of hooking up, and I had to hold in a nosebleed. That's so much harder than holding in a fart. But at the end of the day, which is why this is embarrassing, because both came out. I farted and I bled on her.
At the same time?
No, different person. But both super embarrassing.
Oh, okay, because I thought you were like, chew, and wham, farted, and then like anime style nose sprayed all over. And you're just like, best orgasm ever.
That's right, yeah. I finished. What are you doing?
I would probably have to say, like, I've had some embarrassing things happen, but I would say, and this may not be everybody's answer. Like, if I were to compare the list, people would probably be like, oh, that's clearly more embarrassing. But for me as a person, getting a cramp during sex is probably
that sucks,
one of the most embarrassing things that can happen.
Because I don't drink water ever.
Yeah, so what do we got coming up?
Let's see. Already asked that one.
I mean, like as far as like events in the future, we got Burbis coming up.
Oh, you play? Oh, yeah. Do your plug.
Yeah, because
we
we only got a few minutes left.
Well, then do your plug.
Yeah, EP Mike has an engagement.
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
My bad. Go ahead.
Because I know right now he's talking to a young lady that he's very interested in. So
is
if you're
that
listening,
what your engagement is?
No. She's I don't think she's local, right? No. So if you're that young lady, feel very special because he is literally beating women off him with the giant stick he has in his pants.
Oh, I know.
Trying to be virtuous to you.
He absolutely is. I agree.
Yeah. So also. We are going to start accepting sponsorship for season 2 coming up. Mm-hmm. And if you guys appreciate the low-key plugs, kind of like ingrained, let us know.
Yeah.
If you have any recommendations or any advice for season 2 coming up, things you'd like to hear more of, things you'd like to hear less of, anybody that you think would be a cool guest, let us know. Reach out to us. The Smoke Pit on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I think we have a Facebook page.
We have a Facebook, but I've been locked out, and I'm in control of that.
What were you looking at? What were you clicking on?
It's not...
How'd you get locked out?
I bought a new phone, motherfucker.
Yes.
I'm also
because the FBI confiscated the old one.
I'm also logged on my personal Facebook. So
there's all these girls thinking that you're just ignoring them.
It's true. Actually, I'll show you a message. Keep talking though.
Yeah, and so you can find us on Instagram. You can find me at Pop Smoke Official with underscores in between Pop and Official. So Pop_Smoke Official. You can also find me on Facebook. Yeah, check out our YouTube channel. Mike is at msensi on Instagram. EP Mike is at Stedbro_Merica. You can see all our stuff in there. Mike, tried to message you on Facebook before. I've been locked out of Facebook for months. Yeah. You should just put like "you dumb bitch" because that's like you were like making that her problem. Well, maybe if you were smarter, you would unlock my Facebook for me.
Right, exactly, yeah. Maybe you work at Facebook.
Yeah, maybe you got a job, you dumbass.
If Facebook is listening, fucking unlock my shit, please.
Yeah, just do. Also, I probably almost to say more importantly, don't ban us anymore. Like, yeah, please unlock his shit, but just moving forward.
Sure.
Try not to ban us, because EP Mike had this fucking, this video that was really popular.
Yeah.
It was like, these nerds were playing a prank on each other, like an air cannon, and just fucking, like, obligated this one dude in the chest, and he went flying across the fucking, like, lab.
It was a solid meme.
Yeah, it was good. He got, like, fucking, like, what, like, 100,000 fucking views on it? 250,000 views on this video on his Instagram page. And then Facebook fucking deleted it. And he was like, "Oh, guys, like Facebook deleted my Instagram," and I went fucking ham on him because I was like, "You're worried about your shit? I reposted this video as a favor for you. Your first thought should have been to me."
Always default to Dan. That is the Pop Smoke hierarchy.
Which, if you know me in real life, that's really the opposite.
That is true. No, I agree. Yeah. For those who don't know, that's a joke.
Yeah, and so please stop banning us.
Yeah.
I will say, is there we got like a minute left. Is there ever a time to report something on social media?
If it's used without your permission or it's your family and you don't want it posted, that's the only time.
If it's like animal abuse or like child abuse or something,
sure.
Like I'll have something to say about that. Like I might report the video. But if it's just like a meme that is like distasteful, like I'll probably just unfollow the page.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
You know, because like people will like repost a video of like animal cruelty, and I'm like, why would you share this? And like, oh, I'm trying to make these people famous. Like, how are you making them famous in a bad way? Like,
right.
All you're doing is giving more publicity to this, you know? And like, oh, well, we'll figure out who these people are. Like, okay, like all you see is their like foot in their hand, you know, like, okay, Batman, like you're gonna fucking detective that shit, you know, like figure out who these people are. Then you're gonna fucking fly to Wichita,
right? Exactly.
And serve out some street justice, you know, the fuck out of here. And I think that's our time.
I think that's it. That's why, yeah. Mike's looking nervous
pretty gay.
over there. Yeah, pretty gay.